Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English Talk Today, where learning English is easy and fun. I'm Emma.
And I am Jake, and today feels a little heavier. Not in a depressing way, more like honest.
Yeah, because if you open the news or even just scroll for 4 minutes, you can feel it. Tension, anger, fear, people arguing like it is a sport.
Like Olympic level arguing.
Exactly. And maybe you were listening and thinking, I am just one person. What can I even do?
If you feel that, you are not alone. A lot of dead people feel overwhelmed right now.
So today's episode is a very simple question, but it is a big one.
Can't the world live in peace?
And before we go deeper, we want to say something clearly. We are not here to take sides. We are not here to attack any country, any religion, any group. We are here for the people, for civilians, for families, for children, for ordinary humans who just want to live.
Because the truth is, civilians do not need conflict. They need safety. They need dignity. They need a normal day, a boring day. The kind of day where the biggest problem is, what should we eat tonight?
Right? A peaceful, boring day is actually a luxury.
It really is.
And this episode is not just about the world. It is also about daily life peace. The peace in our homes, the peace in how we speak, the peace in how we disagree, the peace in the online spaces we visit too.
Yeah, even online, we can choose to be gentle. One kind message can calm a lot of noise on someone's screen.
True. But seriously, peace is not only a big political word. Peace is a daily habit.
And we will talk about that step by step in a calm way.
Also, this is a B2 episode, so the English will be richer and more natural. But we will still speak clearly, repeat key ideas, and keep it easy to follow.
And if you are a strong B1 learner, you can still stay with us. Some parts might stretch you, but that stretch is how your English grows.
Yeah, don't disappear. Just listen once, then listen again later. That second listen is magic.
Right now, quick small talk, because we are still us.
Yes, we cannot be serious for 1 full hour. It is illegal. Okay, Jake, simple question. When your brain feels heavy from the world, what is one tiny thing that makes you feel calm again?
Honestly, I clean one small area, like my desk. Not my whole life, just one small space. It makes me feel like I have a little control again.
That is actually beautiful. Micro peace.
Exactly. I cannot fix the planet in one day, but I can fix the chaos next to my laptop.
I love that. For me, it is a walk, even 15 minutes. No phone, just sky, just trees, just breathing.
So if you're listening right now, maybe pause for 1 second and ask yourself, what gives you micro peace?
Because that matters. You cannot be a peaceful person if you are constantly burning inside.
And today we want to do 2 things with you. We want to give you language, and we want to give you a message.
The language is B2 English you can actually use to talk about peace, conflict, and emotions in a respectful way.
And the message is simple. We do not have to copy the hate we see. We can choose something else.
Yeah, we can refuse to be hostile. We can refuse to dehumanize people. We can refuse to spread hate in the name of anything.
And we can still be strong. Peace is not weakness. Peace is emotional strength.
Right? And before we start, a small request. If you enjoy these kinds of meaningful English conversations, please like the episode, subscribe, and share it with one person who needs a little calm today.
And tell us in the comments, honestly, one thing. Where do you need more peace right now? in your mind, your home, your work, or your relationships.
No long story needed. Just one line is enough.
All right, let's begin slowly with the difference between peace as a big dream and peace as a daily decision.
I like that picture because when we hear world peace, it sounds huge, almost like a slogan on a poster.
Yeah, it feels far away, something only presidents or politicians can touch.
But when we say daily peace, it becomes smaller and closer. It is about how I talk to my family, how you reply to a comment, how we treat the people who do not agree with us.
Exactly. And we are not here as judges today. We are not experts in politics. We are just two humans trying to understand and choose peace in our own lives.
Yeah, and we know one thing for sure. When conflict happens, it is often pushed by power and politics, but civilians are the ones who suffer most.
Yeah, ordinary people pay the price, not the people sitting in safe rooms making decisions. It's families, kids, workers, students.
Most people do not wake up in the morning thinking, I want war. They think, I hope my children are safe. I hope I still have my job. I hope today is normal.
Yeah, they want stability, work, a home, a future. Very basic things.
So when we ask, can't the world live in peace? We're really asking, why is it so hard for ordinary people to have a normal, safe life?
Let's start there. Why do civilians want peace so strongly?
Because peace means dignity. It means you can plan your week, not just survive your day. You can think about your future, not only about the next hour.
Yeah. Peace means you can send your kids to school and expect them to come home. You can complain about small things like traffic or the weather, and that's actually a blessing.
And a boring day can be a luxury when you see what people in conflict zones live with.
So civilians want peace not because they are weak, but because they know what a normal life should feel like.
But if most people want peace, why does hate keep growing?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it often starts very quietly with prejudice.
Right. Prejudice means judging someone before you really know them, maybe just by their name, their religion, their accent, or their passport.
Exactly. You hear one story or one stereotype, and you decide people like them are all like this.
And if we don't question that feeling, that prejudice slowly grows into intolerance.
And intolerance is when we refuse to accept that other people live or believe differently from us.
It can sound like they are wrong and they should not live that way.
And when that intolerance is repeated again and again, especially in media and online, it often becomes hostility.
Hostility is open anger and aggression towards someone.
And we see it everywhere. In comment sections, in speeches, in jokes that are not really jokes. People stop seeing humans. They only see the enemy.
And that is scary, because once you no longer see a human, it becomes easier to accept their pain.
Yeah, and after that, there's another problem. How easily we fuel the fire.
Right, and fuel the fire means to make a bad situation worse, like throwing more wood on a burning fire.
Exactly. And sometimes we do it without thinking. We share a shocking video without checking if it's true. We post an angry message when we are tired. We enjoy seeing our side win an argument.
And every time we do that, we are not just expressing ourselves, we're helping the fire grow.
Yeah, misinformation, sarcasm, childish memes, it all adds heat. The conflict becomes bigger, even if we are sitting safely on a sofa with our phone.
So even if we cannot control big decisions, we can still control what we spread. Empathy, facts, and respect, or more fire.
And then there's the other side, when we do nothing.
Yes. Sometimes we don't fuel the fire, but we also don't try to cool it down. We just look away.
Exactly. In English, we say turn a blind eye. It means to pretend you don't see something wrong because you don't want to deal with it.
Maybe we see bullying. Maybe we hear a hateful joke. Maybe a friend shares something dangerous and we stay silent.
And I understand why people are tired. People are afraid of arguments. But if everyone turns a blind eye, injustice grows stronger.
Yes, silence can protect our comfort, but it doesn't protect the victims.
Exactly. And when that silence mixes with hostility, we often get oppression.
Right. Oppression means unfair and cruel treatment, usually by people in power toward people who cannot easily defend themselves.
It can be physical, but it can also be economic, social, or emotional. It can mean no voice, no rights, no chance to speak.
And again, civilians carry the weight. They lose their homes, their jobs, their families, their sense of safety.
Yeah, politics may push the conflict, but ordinary people carry the pain in their bodies, in their memories, in their children's futures.
And that is exactly why we cannot treat war like a game of my team versus your team. It is not a sports match. It is human lives.
Yeah, and there's another hard truth we need to talk about behind that.
You mean how people get pulled into very extreme thinking?
Exactly. When someone lives with fear, humiliation, and anger for a long time, they can become easier to radicalize.
And to radicalize someone means to push them towards very extreme ideas or actions.
Right. They start to believe that violence or hate is the only answer left.
And that's where extremism grows.
Extremism is when beliefs become so extreme that they reject balance, dialogue, and basic humanity.
Extremism often promises simple answers. All of the problem is them. If we remove them, everything will be fine. But the world is never that simple. Those ideas may feel strong for a moment, but they destroy peace instead of protecting it. So, if hate, prejudice, and extremism can grow step by step, maybe peace can also grow step by step.
Yeah, that's the hopeful part. Not only in big agreements between leaders, but in small daily choices between people.
Peace in daily life can look like listening carefully before you answer. It can look like respecting someone's pain, even if you don't fully understand it.
It can also look like saying, I disagree, but I will not attack you. Or, I don't know enough to judge this.
And when there has already been hurt, peace looks like reconciliation. Reconciliation means trying to rebuild trust and calm after conflict.
It doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. It means choosing not to repeat the harm.
And that can start in a family argument, in a friendship, in a community. It's not always huge, but it's real.
And the more people practice this kind of peace in daily life, the harder it becomes for hate to control everything.
So maybe the question is, what can we actually do today? The two of us here and you listening wherever you are.
Right. We cannot stop every bomb or change every law, but we can decide what we add to the world.
Exactly. We can decide if our words bring more light or more darkness.
In English, we sometimes say we need to root out something.
And root out means to remove something completely, like pulling a weed out of the ground so it doesn't grow back.
So we can try to root out hate from our own language, our jokes, our private conversations.
We can refuse to share content that dehumanizes people. We can refuse to laugh at prejudice. We can refuse to let intolerance sound normal around us.
And at the same time, we can spread something different: empathy, respect, careful listening, and honest questions.
In other words, we can disagree without hostility. We can care deeply without fueling the fire.
And if enough ordinary people choose that kind of peace, even quietly, the world might still be noisy, but it will not be completely dark.
Because every time we choose peace in a small moment, we protect civilians. Somewhere in our hearts, we say, your life matters, your safety matters, your future matters.
And maybe that is where real peace begins. Not with a big, famous signature on a paper, but with one human choosing not to hate another human today.
I like that. And for our listeners, I think it is also important to have the language to talk about these things.
Yes, totally, because sometimes people feel a lot, but they don't know the right English words.
Exactly. And if you don't have the words, it is harder to explain your heart.
So let's do a calm word tour together. We'll take some strong B2 words from today's topic and move through them slowly.
You can repeat after us or just listen and let the meanings sink in.
First word, hostility.
Hostility is open anger and aggression towards someone. Not just a small disagreement, but a feeling that you want to attack or hurt, at least with your words.
For example, there is a lot of hostility on social media when people talk about politics.
Or, if we answer with hostility, the argument usually gets worse, not better.
Repeat hostility.
Hostility.
One more time, hostility. Next word, prejudice.
Prejudice is when you judge someone before you really know them. You decide who they are just from their group, their religion, their race, or their nationality.
For example, prejudice often comes from fear and ignorance, not from real experience. Or, we need to teach children to question prejudice, not copy it. Repeat, prejudice.
Prejudice.
Slowly, prejudice. Next word, intolerance.
Intolerance is when you refuse to accept that other people think or live differently. You do not just disagree, you believe they should not live that way at all.
For example, intolerance can destroy friendships, families, and even whole societies.
Or, social media can sometimes increase intolerance because people only hear voices that agree with them.
Repeat, intolerance.
Intolerance.
One more time, intolerance. Next word, oppression.
Oppression is unfair and cruel treatment, usually by people in power, towards people who have less power. It can mean they have no voice, no rights, and constant fear.
For example, history books are full of stories of people who stood up against oppression. Or, oppression often begins quietly when small injustices are accepted as normal. Repeat, oppression.
Oppression.
Slowly, oppression. Next phrase, fuel the fire.
Fuel the fire means to make a bad situation worse, like adding more wood to a real fire so it burns stronger.
For example, sharing hateful posts without checking facts only fuels the fire.
Or, when two people are angry, sarcastic comments usually fuel the fire, instead of calming things down.
Repeat, fuel the fire.
Fuel the fire.
Slowly, fuel the fire. Next phrase, turn a blind eye.
Turn a blind eye means to pretend you do not see something wrong because it is easier to ignore it.
For example, if we turn a blind eye to bullying, it will continue.
Or, Many people turn a blind eye to prejudice until it touches their own family.
Repeat. Turn a blind eye.
Turn a blind eye.
Slowly. Turn a blind eye. Next word. Radicalize.
To radicalize someone means to push them towards very extreme ideas, often using fear, anger, or manipulation.
For example, lonely and angry people can be easier to radicalize online.
Or, education and dialogue can help stop young people from being radicalized.
Repeat. Radicalize.
Radicalize.
Slowly. Radicalize. Next word. Extremism.
Extremism is when beliefs become very extreme, so the person rejects balance, discussion, or respect for others.
For example, extremism often offers simple answers, but those answers usually bring more pain.
Or, many communities are working together to prevent extremism by building understanding. Slowly. Extremism.
Extremism.
Slowly. Extremism.
Next word. Reconciliation.
Reconciliation is the slow process of rebuilding peace and trust after a conflict or a big hurt.
For example, true reconciliation takes time because people need to feel heard and safe.
Or, sometimes reconciliation begins with a simple sentence, I am ready to listen.
Repeat. Reconciliation.
Reconciliation.
Slowly. Reconciliation. Last phrase. Root out.
Root out means to remove something completely, like pulling a plant out with all its roots so it cannot grow again.
For example, if we want real peace, we have to root out hate from our daily language.
Or, teachers can help root out prejudice by teaching children to think for themselves.
Repeat. Root out.
Root out.
Slowly. Root out. So that was our word tour for today. If you can use even a few of these words to talk about peace, conflict, and humanity, you are already speaking at a strong B2 level.
And remember, you do not have to remember everything today. You can always come back, listen again, and use these words when you talk about what kind of world you want to live in.
And that is really the heart of this episode. Not just learn English, but use English to speak for peace, not for hate.
Yes, because the world already has enough noise, enough hostility, enough people shouting. It needs more calm, more empathy, more people who can say, I disagree, but I still see you as human.
Yeah, you might feel small, but your daily choices are not small. The joke you don't repeat, the post you don't share, the kind comment you do write, all of that is part of peace.
So maybe tonight, before you sleep, you can ask yourself one simple question. Did my words today make the world a little softer or a little harder?
And if the answer is harder, that's okay. Tomorrow is another chance. You can always start again.
And if this episode touched you, please like it, subscribe, and share it with one person who also feels tired of all the hate and noise.
And in the comments, if you want, write one small sentence. Today, I choose peace by, and complete it in your own words.
We would love to read those.
Thank you for staying with us, for learning these words, and for caring about peace in your own heart.
The world needs people like you more than you think.
So take care of your mind, take care of your words, and take care of each other.
This is Emma,
This is Jake.
and you have been listening to the Daily English Talk today. So, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for spending your time with us today. Thank you for learning, for practicing, for being here.
You are doing something amazing for yourself. Be proud. Keep going.
Take care of yourself and take it easy. We'll see you next time for another Talk E lesson. Bye for now.
Thank you for reading. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us and learning English with our channel. We truly appreciate your time, support, and dedication to improving your English skills. Your presence motivates us to continue creating helpful and meaningful lessons for you. We wish you great success on your English learning journey, and we hope our channel will continue to support you every step of the way. Thank you for learning with us.